Hello and welcome back to another episode of Reach Your Happy with Laura. I have been going through a certain phase in my life where it is of the utmost importance to keep my promises to myself, to be extremely good to myself. And I gotta tell you, it is the best thing that's ever happened to me as far as self-growth, self-love, self-care goes. Now, keeping your promise to yourself kind of seems simple, and it is and it isn't. It's so easy to say, yes, I'll do that for myself. I'm gonna start exercising in 2023. I'm gonna cut out sugar. And then how often do you not, right? How often do you fail to meet the bar or the expectation or the plan you have for yourself? So though big goals are really fantastic and totally achievable, if you have a little bit of a tendency to not keep your promise to yourself, starting small is the place to begin. So I had a pretty rough accident happen a couple years ago now, and that accident was there's multiple people involved in it, but for me it was about listening to myself no matter what. No matter what, I need to listen to myself. And slowly but surely been implementing it. I've been given different situations in my life that are requiring that I continue to practice listening to myself, no matter who I'm in front of, no matter what's going on, no matter what. So I, just a couple days ago, had a person reach out about booking a session. Great, new person, so exciting, love meeting new people, love bringing new people into my practice. But she asked for a session outside of my normal hours. Now granted, I do take people outside of hours. I took a session at 8:30 in the morning the other day. I took a session on a Saturday the other day. So it's not that I don't, but I do it when it feels right to me, when it feels like I'm honoring myself and that I won't be resentful because I said yes to something, because I have been there before and I don't want to feel that way towards my work because it is my favorite place, but it has to fit into certain boundaries. So I told her that time slot wasn't available, but I did have an availability the following day. She responded, okay, great. In my mind, I'm going, really? You're gonna miss out on a potential new client because you just feel like it's a good idea to not do this? Okay, whatever. I have been practicing trusting myself. I've been practicing honoring how I feel. That's a promise to myself that even when it doesn't make sense, I do the things that I sense and feel are going to be the highest possible good for me and therefore other people. That's a belief I have. So, and have had to practice believing, like anything. I mean, even as kids, we're like, wait, so that's how that works. Okay. And we don't really believe it until we see it in action. So I've had to practice this over the past couple of years, and this scenario, by telling a client no, come the next day, it just felt like me honoring myself. So then I send that email and I'm going, I'm really glad that I did that. I don't know why I'm glad, but I'm just glad. And even if she never books, you know what? It's not about that. It's about me honoring me. This path is not just about others, it's about me as well. So then I get a text from my hairdresser who I was supposed to have an appointment with the next morning at 9:30. Now, if I had, and she said, a bunch of people canceled, any chance you could come like in the evening instead? And I had the thought earlier that I don't want to just do a root touch-up, I want to do an all-over color. So I want to go a little bit darker, it's just what I'm feeling, I want it. That wasn't going to be possible if I had that 9:30 appointment. But it was possible because she asked me to change it to that evening where that client would have been here, but because I held that boundary, I got exactly what I wanted. Pleasantly surprised. This has never happened before. I did not know and couldn't have predicted. My hairdresser's like booked all the way through. Like I book till like 6 months out for my hairdresser. So the fact that she had an opening in the evening that not only allowed me to not have to rush out of the house in the morning, but it also allowed me to get exactly what I wanted. By saying no to something, I'm saying yes to something else. And that just affirmed to me that I am well on my way to having a better relationship with myself and keeping promises to myself, like listening to that feeling, even when it doesn't make any logical sense why I feel the way that I do. So this morning I ate breakfast and I'm trying to have a vegetable or fruit or both more consistently. My body just feels like it needs more of that for whatever reason. So I ate my breakfast and had some carrots with it, and then I wanted a snack, but I was like, I don't know if I'm really hungry or just kind of like, you just want to munch on something. And I was like, no, I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to take my vitamins. I'm going to do what I was going to do. Then my next snack is going to be an apple. It's going to be an apple with cinnamon and a protein yogurt on the side. That's what I'm doing. So then that snack time approached and I thought to myself, I don't really want that. I kind of want chicken. I kind of want this. And I said, Laura, you made a promise to yourself that that was going to be the snack. So I sat down, had the snack. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. But I think on top of that, the cherry on top was that I kept my promise to myself. And I was rewarded with energy, with feeling good, with feeling proud of myself for listening to the rule that I set. And I think about the children that I've worked with. Before I came to Reach Your Happy, I never had like a normal job. I was always a caregiver of some sort. A nanny for young children, medium children, older children, just always engaged with children. And something I learned in that process is that they love to know what the boundaries are, because it helps them feel safe. So by me keeping my promise to myself, by telling myself that's what you're having for snack, and keeping that boundary even when I'm like, I'm an adult, I don't need to do, it's like, no, Laura, it's not, it helps me stay safe because there was some intuition that said, that's a good snack. That's what you need. And when I ate it, I could feel that. So on a bigger scale, why is it important to keep your promise to yourself? I will tell you what I think. I hope you're enjoying my Christmas decor. I have never kept it up this long, but I'm just loving it. Brad and I, shifting gears here, we wake up at the same time every day. Huberman Lab podcast. Fantastic, everything for mind body wellness. He's a scientist, talks about all types of topics, fat loss, just overall health. It's just fantastic. Anyway, he talks about the consistency of waking up at the same time, and Brad and I wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, no matter if we went to bed at 2 a.m., 12, whatever time. We wake up at 6, so it's dark out, so we turn the Christmas lights on and it's just glorious. So that's part of my reason. Not that it matters to you, but I'm just saying. So wake up at 6. What was I saying? Keeping your promise to yourself. There is going to be a point in your life where you're alone. Maybe you're alone right now. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you feel like you're on an island. And if you don't have a practice of being able to trust yourself, to rely on yourself, to keep your promises to yourself, that is quite a predicament you're in, right? You're probably going to be reaching for other people and other things to help you feel safe instead of relying on yourself of like, I got me. I know I can keep promises, big and small, to myself, and it helps me feel safe. So by practicing keeping your commitment, your promises to yourself, like me eating that for my snack when I agreed that that was the best idea after my breakfast, that's going to help me in future situations. My promise to myself to listen to me no matter what, even if it doesn't make logical sense, has continued to affirm that that is where it's not the money, it's not the juice, it's like, that's where it's at for me. That's my bread and butter. Now, your commitments to yourself are going to look a little different. Maybe you do want to listen to yourself, or maybe you do want to take in input from other people more openly. I'm also working on that with my husband. He always has my best interest in mind, and I am so stubborn. Yeah. So when he gives me insight or input, I'm like, no, nope. Which may be surprising for you to hear that, but I definitely resist input sometimes from him, usually because I'm not in the space to receive it. And then when I am, I'm like, oh, you're right. But so you figure out what is a helpful promise to start practicing with yourself. And you could have like a million different things. I have recently started movement before work. I used to say, I got a full day of sessions, full day of working with people. If I work out really hard, I may not have the energy to give to people. So what was I doing? I was choosing other people over my well-being. That ain't gonna fly. I can't do that. That's not sustainable. That's not healthy. That's not balanced. That's me being a caretaker of other people and neglecting myself. No. That's not for me anymore. I'm over that. Recovering caretaker. So we wake up at 6 a.m. We get some movement in, even when I'm tired. Movement, it could be a walk. We fight martial arts. We lift. We do something. And it has changed how I show up at work. Keeping that promise to myself the other day, that 8:30 appointment, I'm like, yeah, that's early to get my movement in. I'm really tired. I didn't sleep good I was waking up at 4 a.m. for like a week straight. I'm like, shit. But then I was like, you know what? We move before we session. We move before we give. We move before we hold space for anybody else. That's just what we do now, Laura. That was like one of the best days I've had in a really long time. Tired, but still capable of showing up because I was taken care of. So, like I said, you're inevitably going to be at a point in your life where things are so challenging and you feel so alone. It happens, even when you have loved ones around you. It's like if it's your thing you're going through, you're alone in that in a lot of ways. So if you can't trust yourself, if you can't rely on you to tell yourself the truth, to show up for you, to keep your promises, to do what's in your best interest, it just makes it exponentially more challenging. And life is just hard, right? Life is just filled with uncertainty, filled with a need to continue to grow and evolve, and constantly providing us stuff that we just didn't expect. It's just how it goes. So a self-love, a self-care, self-trust practice is imperative. It's everything. Your relationship to you matters so much. And I, to be honest, have gotten away with neglecting myself and putting others' needs before my own. And I just got screwed over and over and over and over and over again. And it left me with this feeling that I'm not enough. I'm so kind, I'm so giving, I'm so caring, I'm so generous. How am I getting screwed? Everything is energy, okay? So the energy I was exuding, though it was giving and generous and kind and loving and compassionate, that was towards others. And at the root of that, what was underneath that was, I don't deserve this. I got to give it to someone else. And that led me to certain situations, certain predicaments that showed me, no, you are enough. You do deserve that love. It's actually you first, and then you have so much more to give. You don't feel depleted after a day of work. You don't feel depleted after a day with family because you give to you first. So, I believe that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. I love you so much. Do the best you can, keeping your promises to yourself. Keep them small before you go big. You wouldn't, I said I'm wrapped up, I'm not short with any message. If you promised your child the dog of their dreams for Christmas and then you didn't deliver, like, what are you doing, right? Come on. But we do that to ourselves. I'm gonna lose 15 pounds by next week. It's like, yeah, that's a big commitment. That's a big offering. If you don't follow through, that's a big offering, that height, big jump down, right? Versus, I'm gonna have an apple for a snack. If I didn't do that, it's a small fall. Whereas if I'm gonna lose 15 pounds by next week, that's harder, right? So I would say keep it small and gradually get bigger with your promises. And over time, you'll start to notice a significant increase in your love of your life, of yourself, that you are worthy and deserving, and I can't wait to hear about it. I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.